Jalen Brunson has arguably been one of the best free agent signings for the Knicks in franchise history. That's how good and impactful he's been since stepping foot into MSG. However, we all remember he was with Dallas beforehand, and in a recent interview, he actually revealed he wanted to stay with Dallas. But he also revealed Dallas fumbled the bag with his contract not only once, but twice. We're going to break down exactly what he said and in the end, why he ended up choosing MSG and the New York Knicks. All of this and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Jalen Brunson explains why he chose New York and, of course, how Dallas fumbled the bag with his contract. Now, the New York Knicks as a franchise don't get lucky often, especially at the point guard position, a position where we have failed to make an impact for so many years. Now we have Jalen Brunson. You put him in there. You add stability to the point guard position for the Knicks. Now look at what this team can do. Look at what we can be with a point guard who knows what he can do, but not only that, somebody who's an all-star coming into his own as a superstar. And the New York Knicks have him in his prime. I can't remember the last time the Knicks had a point guard like this. Maybe since what? Walt Clyde Frazier? Now we have it in Jalen Brunson. And it's been a spectacle to watch. In a recent interview that Jalen Brunson did, he actually spoke about how Dallas didn't do what they needed to do with his contract and ultimately why he chose the New York Knicks. Let's roll the following clip, watch it together, and see what Jalen Brunson says exactly. Roll it.
Knicks free agency. Was there a chance in Dallas? The bright lights in New York were calling your name. Talk to us about your free agency.
There was a chance.
Okay.
There's a chance. I really did want to stay in Dallas. I think before the season, before my fourth season in Dallas, my last season in Dallas, we tried to extend our contract, whatever we can get. The most we can get was like 4 years and $55 million. And so obviously we wanted to do that. I wanted to stay there. I thought I would be there for a long time, and I liked my role there.
What? Gotta stop that real quick. Because I remember a lot of people, a lot of fans saying Jalen Brunson did not like his role. He wanted to be a leader, lead his own team. I think a lot of people thought he could do that or believe he could do that based on the play that you saw him do without Luka, but you weren't really sure. But the fact that he just said he liked his role, that tells me that he's okay playing off ball. So if the Knicks were to maybe potentially get another ball dominant guy who came in to score the ball, maybe played a little bit more point guard, Jalen Brunson would be okay with it. Why? Because he was okay, perfectly okay with his role in Dallas. And I think that if it led to the New York Knicks winning and winning a lot more games, potentially could win a championship, I think Jalen Brunson would adopt that same role again. It means a lot hearing him say that in this interview. Let's continue it.
It's funny because my agent was like, I mean, you can do so much. You can get more. I'm saying,
Clearly.
well, like, I want to be safe. Like, I'm not trying to gamble right now. This is not something you really gamble with if it's out there.
Right.
And so, but they were like, we want to see where we're at, like 20, 25 games into the season. But we were like, all right, well, if we're not going to do it, I kind of don't want to do it until after the season. I'm not trying to think about this
during the season, right?
Yeah. So there's a period where Luka went out, and I started to start. I was playing really well. I think I was averaging like 20 and like 6, maybe, whatever.
Woo.
It was about that 20 to 25 mark. And so we went back. We're like, hey, like, if the deal's there, we're thinking about it. Like, I'll do it. Like, right now. And still, it was no. Like, it wasn't a hard no. It was just like, we want to see. So I'm like,
this was Dallas.
This is Dallas. It's still in Dallas.
Okay.
No. They told Jalen Brunson no twice. And the contract that they were talking about and discussing was 4 years, $55 million. Mind you, Jalen Brunson signed with the Knicks for over $100 million, which at the time was seen like an overpay. Now, clearly, it's a steal, one of the best free agent signings the Knicks have ever had. But as you can clearly see there, the way Dallas fumbled the bag not once, but twice, could have locked in Jalen Brunson, who was happy and just wanted the security. Even though his agent was telling him he could get more, he still wanted the security. He would have stayed with Dallas. He would have continued to play for Dallas and Luka. However, Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks did not want to give him any type of contract. They wanted to stay flexible at the trade deadline to see maybe if they could bring another talent in to play with Luka, somebody potentially better. But little did they know, they had the player that fit perfectly with Luka. And now that player is destroying the league, but he's doing so in the orange and blue. Thanks, Mark. Let's continue.
The deadline comes, I'm like thinking, like, all right, well, if I'm not getting extended, I'm probably going to get traded. Probably. Right. I think the way I've been playing, like, there's just like,
playing well, right?
I'm playing
Makes sense.
somewhat decent. And so that didn't happen. And then, yeah, so like the deal came on the table after the trade deadline. I was like, no, I think I've outgrown that now.
Right. Okay.
Personally, that's what I thought.
Tell him.
I think I've outgrown that. Obviously, going to playoffs, Luka gets hurt like second to last game or last game of the season, and so he's out for the first 3 games, and I obviously did what I did.
Ain't no looking back.
Ain't no looking back. And so
Thanks.
that all happens. I'm trying to think of my timeline so I don't mess up. So we lose in the Western Conference Finals, and I remember seeing something on Twitter after the game, and it was like Mark saying, "Hey, like we can pay him the most money," and so he says that on Twitter. He says it like in an interview, like
I remember that.
whatever,
Yeah. Mhm.
whatever.
Yep.
Like literally right after the game, and so I'm thinking like, all right, I'm okay. I just after that it was like crickets. From my point of view, I can't speak to anyone else. Just from my point of view, it was crickets. And so, and obviously I saw like New York making moves and saw all that stuff. I was like,
Yes, sir.
close to home,
Close to home.
2 hours away from where I was, or an hour away from where I was born.
Yeah.
Parents live on the East Coast, whole family's on the East Coast. So I started thinking like, this could be a real thing. And so then here we are.
Best move you made.
Yep.
Move.
I love the way he ended that interview. Best move. It really was the best move for Brunson because looking back, I don't know where he would have been with Luka. Question mark still. What his role would have been. Question mark still. What his value would have been. Question mark. Who knows if they would have traded him for another player at some point down the road. But what I can say is he joined the New York Knicks. He became the face of the New York Knicks. He became one of the best players for the Knicks. He became the point guard for the Knicks. And now he's become the player that you come to watch and see. You come to see play, you come to see lead, and you come to see put on a show with some legendary, magical footwork that some people thought he had, but not to this level. Some people thought he had the floater game, not to this level. Jalen Brunson, at each and every stage, each and every level, no matter where he's gone, where he's been, he's elevated his game and he stepped up. And then when it came time for him to run his own team and be the guy, he didn't shy away from it. He didn't turn away from it. He turned into it. In a market like New York City, where a lot of times people will run away from those type of responsibilities, he didn't do that. He embraced it. If anything, he jumped toward it. And he embraced the pressure, he embraced the fans, and he embraced playing for one of the best places in the world, New York City, in one of the best arenas ever, Madison Square Garden, a place that he is so happy to call home. If you saw the Taylor Rooks interview that he did recently as well, too, that's a great interview. I encourage you all to watch it. He talks about the fans, what they mean to him, but even more than that, what it means to call MSG his home. The power playing in that building gives him and what the fans give him. It's a must-see interview. If you haven't watched it already, please go check it out. But going back to Jalen Brunson, the Dallas Mavericks, it was clear. He wanted to stay in Dallas. Luka wanted him to stay in Dallas. They were supposed to offer him a contract. Then they tried to lowball him on a contract after he outperformed the contract that they initially tried to give him. So I don't blame him for being a little bit upset. And as you heard, crickets. Crickets. He heard nothing from his point of view. He heard nothing from Dallas. He saw what New York was doing. He saw the moves New York was making. He liked what he saw there. Family ties, family on the East Coast. You heard it from his mouth directly. All of those things together made New York the easiest choice for him. And I can tell, look at his face. He would not change it even if he could. Because again, the way he closed that interview, and I want to say it again because it made me smile just hearing him say it. Best move in your career, best move you ever made, best move. It really was. And I think the entire New York Knicks fan base would agree that we just love Jalen Brunson as a point guard, embrace him as our leader, as one of our best players, as another homegrown all-star, and as somebody that we can depend on in the playoffs to take us as far as he can take us. And with a lit squad like we have right now, with the shooters we have right now, with the players we're set to get back, this Knicks team is in prime position to make so much noise in the playoffs and to attract more talent. And at the end of the day, that's one of the goals as well, too. Let's go, New York Knicks. Let's go, Jalen Brunson. This is the time to be hype if you're a Knicks fan, because we have everything that we need to make a statement this year and for years to come. But what about you guys? What do you think about Jalen Brunson's comments about how Dallas fumbled the bag with his contract twice and why he chose the New York Knicks? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.